Yeah, Lewis, I'm here with you outside Stamford Bridge. At least we scored against Brighton. I mean, Real Madrid's a much better team, obviously, but we've lost 2-0 at home in the Champions League. That is everything that we had to play for today, and the lads pulled up short again.
Nail in the coffin of this shit season, I guess, but we all already saw it coming. It's just a bit shit all overall, and I get people are going to say like we did well until the first goal, and I understand that, but I just felt like we set up to draw with the lineup, and it felt like a 5-5-0 when I saw that. And fair play, we controlled the tempo of the game, we made most of the chances, we were a bit progressive going forward, and I did see that, but there was just nothing in the final third because we didn't really have the bodies. Obviously, there's individual moments, and let's say if Cucurella doesn't take a touch and he just fucking levers it, like, I don't know why he did that, but whatever. Maybe it's a different story in the second half. Maybe if Havertz or Gallagher doesn't hit the ball like a 2-year-old or something, or if one of us just hits a shot for the corners. Like, I felt like every single shot was just straight at Courtois, and we made the job so easy for him.
Mate, I got a text throughout the match as well from one of my mates saying, if you boys could take a free kick or a corner without just hitting it to the first man, it would be a completely different game.
Yeah, it's another reason why it's so jarring that we lost Chilwell, because he's the only person that can hit a ball past the first man. James, Enzo, Felix, I don't even remember who took it today, but whoever does in general, they don't hit anything other than the first man. We're so easy to defend against on set pieces. Like, we're so easy to defend against in general because we'll get the ball into the right positions and then we'll just overplay it. And that's the problem. Like, fair play, because you can say, like, Lampard, people are saying he coached a win up until the goal. I was thinking he coached a draw, because we set up to be more defensively solid. It was like we were playing for damage control, because if we opened up a little bit more, we concede more. But we're 2-0 down on aggregate. Like, why are we playing 5 midfielders and Havertz up top who likes to drop deep all the time?
But you have to say, it did work in the first half because we had the chances. We just needed to take them.
We didn't score any of them.
But that's not Lampard's fault, that's the players.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but like, why is there only one forward when we're 2-0 down on aggregate? That doesn't make any sense. And then the substitutions are late, you don't bring anybody on at half-time, you wait until we're 1-0 down before you start bringing on substitutes. It's pointless. Everything about that was just mind-boggling. Because you could say we set ourselves into the right position. As long as, in my opinion, as long as you play a 5-3-2, maybe you play Havertz and then Mudryk, or you play Felix, I think you make more chances and maybe you score more. Because Madrid did look a lot more conservative in that game. But we didn't capitalise because we didn't set up in that way. The amount of times I see the ball going forward and there's nobody in the middle, because we don't even have enough forwards on the pitch. We did well in the midfield, we did well in the defence, but we didn't do well up top because there was only one forward.
But when have we ever done well up top, Lewis?
I understand that, like, you could play 5 forwards, we probably still wouldn't score, I get that. But you need to set up to at least try to. I didn't feel like that. That lineup just looked to me like damage control. And fair play to him at the very least. Yeah, one sec, bro, one sec. Like, it's the same shit happens every single week. Regardless you play 3, regardless you play 1, it's the same crap. I don't understand where we go from here, but whatever, at least the season's done, innit? Like, it was only going to take one individual mistake at that point. Chalobah, to be honest, has 2 bozo moments, and he's usually consistent. I don't even really see that from him, but whatever. That's the reason why we need a DM. That's the reason why we need a striker. That's the reason why we've struggled in both of those areas this season. And it's going to be like this for at least the next 7 to 8 games. At least we're 1 more game away until the end of the season. But it's just dreadful watching this. Because something goes wrong. Either the lineup goes wrong, either the game management goes wrong, or the application. And to be honest, in today's game, I felt like it was a case of all 3. I don't want to hear nothing, but you can't take positives from this. You could say defend well, whatever, we controlled the tempo. We did not play to attack. We didn't. Fair play for making the chance and everything, but half of them weren't even clear-cut. The only real clear-cut chance that I saw was Cucurella, and that's about it. Nothing else was clear-cut, nothing else set us up in that position or anything, and as soon as the first goal came in, the game was dead.
Let's talk speaking of clear-cut and bowling Clear Lake, What the hell are they thinking? I mean, it's just, guys. And what I also don't understand, Lewis. What is this about them going in the dressing room and speaking to players? And
I'm fine with that.
But to me, it seems like whatever it is they're doing is having a negative effect. That's the way it looks to me.
Is that having any more of a negative effect than what's happening? Like, Roman used to do the same thing. Mikel used to talk about how he used to come in there and start shouting at them in Russian and all of that. I've got no issues with that. It at least shows Bowley cares. Like, he's going after the signings that he made. Like, there's lots of sources saying that he went after Sterling after the performance he had, and Sterling came off the bench and was dog shit again today. Fair play to him. At least he's holding the players accountable to these shit performances. At least he's not coming out and he's saying, like, he's blaming it on anything else or nothing. He's saying the players aren't applying themselves, and they're not. Fair play to him. At least he cares. At least he's seeing the problems. At least he's not blind to it. I've got no issues with that. And even then, it's like barely any of them really justified it after that. Sterling came on and he was poor. Cucurella was a little bit shaky, to be honest, even in the left centre-back position. Enzo, fair play to him. He had a good game, but I doubt criticism was even at him. It was mainly just justified at Sterling. And Sterling's been poor. Came off the bench, did nothing, was jogging yet again. Poor. Mudryk should have started. I don't know why we went in with just one forward. That literally makes no sense to me when we're literally 2-0 down on aggregate. That whole game was just damage control, and it just shows the state that we're in right now, because we're not going into these games trying to win. This game was about, let's not concede 4, let's not concede 5. You got to throw it all out there because you want to at least try and progress. We didn't do that.
Well, if there was a manager you thought could have done that, it would have probably been Lampard, because we've seen it in the past. Obviously, it was years ago, but I mean, if he's done it before, you'd think maybe he can do it again.
I mean, I would guess. I didn't really think we were going to go for anyway, but I like to see us at least set up to try. That's it. I felt like with that lineup, we just looked like we were walking in there trying to give up. And that was it. You can say we had chances. The only real clear-cut one we had was Cucurella. And that's it. Even Havertz, to be honest, like, he beat 2-3 man. He was in a tight bit of space. Just had to do the best he could in that moment. Kante, very quick moment of pace. Like, he just had to hit it in that moment. It is what it is. I understand that.
It's on his left foot as well.
Yeah, weak foot as well. I completely understand that. But we didn't put ourselves in a position to try and get a result. If we did, and then we didn't win, like, you could just say it's whatever. You could just, like, I would at least be able to take Lampard out of it. Like in the first leg, didn't blame Lampard for anything. Set up the team in the right way. I thought the tactics were in the right way. The players just shit the bed after the first 20 minutes. This wasn't the case. There was 2 forwards at Madrid. This one we had 1. And one that likes to drop deep a lot of the time. Makes no sense. That game was just damage control, and for a lot of the fans who came in trying to build up optimism, trying to build up some hope, that lineup, like, I've seen bad ones this season, even in all my time supporting Chelsea, like that Newcastle away one, for example. This one takes a piss, honestly. 4 games in a row under Lampard, 4 losses, and 3 times I'm questioning the lineup. I didn't think it would get worse than what it was under Potter. It actually has. At the very least, we didn't concede 21 shots in this game like we did last time. I think we only kept it down to 10. But again, it's because of the way we set up. We set up to draw, and we didn't get that because of individual mistakes, and then all of our heads just dropped at 1-0. That's just it. Game's done. Season's done. I'm going to go to Brentford and probably lose. I'm still deluding myself into thinking or hoping that we could get a point at Arsenal, but we're probably going to hold 7 there. And then what? Whatever, the season's going to be over. We're not even going to get top 10 the way things are looking. Out of Europe. Maybe next season things will be a little bit better, but for now it's 7 games of shit. 7 to 8 games of shit, and then the season's going to be done. And whatever. We look like a pathetic mess. Drogba said it himself. This isn't the Chelsea that he recognises. This isn't the Chelsea that any of us recognise. Like, we look like bitches on the pitch. The mentality, the setup is bitch made. Everything about this club is just shit. It's just shit, and it's demoralising. You go into these games expecting to lose, you go watch it, and it's even worse than you anticipate. Every single week.
Can you see us getting 3 points in any of the next Premier League games? What game stands out to you?
I mean, I would hope for Forest. Even that one I'm not really building that much confidence for. The other ones are Bournemouth away, a ground that we don't even like going to when we're good, let alone when we're crap. And then Arsenal, loss. Brentford, loss. City away, loss. United away, loss. Newcastle at home, loss. They're all tough fixtures. And the other ones are relegation scraps against teams that are fighting for their lives. They're going to care more about those games than we did. I told you, if we lose against Madrid, these players are going onto the beach. You think the performances were bad now? Just you wait. These lot aren't motivated anymore. There's nothing to fight for. It's only going to get worse from here. Brentford, I think they're on a bad run of games from what I can remember. We'll help them out with that. Arsenal, as much as I hate it, will probably help them out in the title race. City as well. United will give them a helping hand in the top 4 race. Same thing with Newcastle. We're Charity FC, handing points around left, right and centre. Just because everywhere the mentality sucks, the application sucks, the players aren't performing to their potential, the manager's making brain-dead decisions every week, the owner doesn't really know what he's paid for. And you know what, even though we overpaid on a lot of those players, I can still understand it because they're still not applying themselves. You can look at the likes of Fofana, for example. You don't talk about the fact he was 75 million because he's a good centre-back. You talk about the fact that Cucurella was worth 62 and Koulibaly 40, Sterling 40 because they don't play to their level. If you play well, no one talks about the price tag. Enzo as well is another example. No one talks about his price tag. He's a good player. Too many of these players just don't apply themselves. So we're just a mess. This whole team is toxic. The whole club is toxic. I don't know where things turn around from here. It's not going to turn around from here. It's just shit. And we have to come here and watch this every week and to try and pretend that there's some positives in it. We're just repeating ourselves. Could just play my Brighton fan cam. Could just play any of my fan cams over the last season, to be honest. I'm saying the same shit every week. I'm running out of things to say because we're in the same position every week. It's insanity. It's genuine insanity. It's the same thing every fucking week, just with the same result. And then you come in the next week hoping something will be different. It's not different. And then you come back around the next week. You go around in circles. And regardless of what happens, we just fucking lose. Same crap every week. We're a joke. We're a laughing stock. Madrid were taking the piss out of us in that second half because their heads just dropped. Their mentality just dropped. Everything about Chelsea just dropped.